Thank you, friend. Shabbat Shalom. Greetings to you all. Welcome to October. The fall is here. Now remember that this Sabbath is not a regular Torah reading Sabbath. It is the Chol HaMoed Sukkot, the intermediate days of the holiday of Sukkot. And intermediate days occur during this holiday and during Passover, and they cover the 2nd through the 6th days of the holidays. These are the days. Now this is when we in the Northeast all hope for an Indian summer. That some years we get it, some years we do not. Now I hope you all got to enjoy that super blood moon the other night as we began the holiday of ingathering, the holiday of the booths. It is the full moon that is closest to the earth. What a celestial show. And what a great time for Jimmy to have had a birthday. I'm sure it was a celebration had by all. And if there is nothing else in today's world that can remind you that there is a pattern to things and a greater meaning, well then, my friends, look to the celestial shows. Look to the stars. One look and you have to know that there is certainly a greater power than ours at work. Hey, if it were up to us, or certainly if it were up to me, the planets would be like bumper cars. Look around in your daily motion. We keep our faces and our gazes down. My friend Martin always refers to it as Teutonic warmth. Just get on an elevator and look at where the crowd looks. They look down. Look up, my friends. There is so much to see. Well, I've walked 200 miles. Look me over. It's the end of the chase and the moon is high. It won't matter who loves you. You love me, I love you. When the night comes falling from the sky. Well, my friends, we are now in the midst of the Feast of Booths, the Feast of the Tabernacles, Sukkot. It is one of the 3 mandated gathering festivals called for, the Shalosh Regalim. Now, during Sukkot, many build and live part of their lives in the sukkah, the booth in which you're supposed to eat your meals and even sleep in. And as I said before, this week it's pretty nice out. But some years, especially when the holiday is later in October, it is practically winter, and you wouldn't want to sleep there, let alone eat there. Now don't forget the sukkah, or booth, represents many different things. It's believed to be the little hut that the wilderness generation would have lived in during the 40-year sojourn. I don't know why, but that's one of the reasons we came up for it. It was the hut that the workers lived in while harvesting during temple times. And it represented the cloud that descended around the tent of meeting during the wilderness wandering period. It is what it is. It is whatever you need it to be for you, for where you are in your life right now. Now you greet everyone by saying Chag Sameach, which means joyous or happy festival. And wouldn't it be nice if we didn't need a festival to feel joyous or to wish joy on your friends, family, neighbors? And of all the great things this holiday can be, I think its greatest is its call for guests to join you. Guests make things special. As I said before, as the great poet Khalil Gibran said, if it were not for guests, all houses would be graves. So true. Friends, the breaking of bread makes strangers friends and makes friends family. And we're all part of one giant family. Now granted, some we like more than others, but this is a great week to forget about differences and to reach out to everyone you know. Share a meal. Break bread together. Reach out to the Ushpizin, the guests, real and spiritual. The spiritual guests called upon for each day of the holiday each bring a special moral characteristic for us to emulate, to inculcate. Loving kindness, strength, splendor, glory, holiness, eternity, sovereignty. I encourage each one of you to invite someone to dine with you as your Ushpizin. If not in your Sukkot, then in your home. Sometime this week. Friends, it is your natural gift of big-heartedness to evoke understanding, which leads to compassion. Keep showing the world how big-hearted you actually are. Now, on each day of the holiday, it's mandatory to perform a waving ceremony with the 4 species. We shake the 4 species of plant, the arba minim, consisting of palm, myrtle, and willow, which make the lulav together with the citron and the etrog. I'll remind you that they represent the characteristics of man. The etrog, which has both a pleasing taste and a pleasant scent, represents people who've achieved knowledge of spiritual laws and perform good deeds. Automatically, Okay, now the palm branch, which can produce a tasty fruit but has no scent, represents those who have knowledge of the law but lack in performance. The myrtle, and it's got the leaves, the myrtle and the willow. Now the myrtle leaf, which is a strong scent but no taste, represents those who perform good but actually have little knowledge of spiritual law. The willow, which has neither taste nor scent, represents those who have no knowledge of spiritual law and perform no good. Well, I don't think anybody really performs no good, but they don't perform a lot of good. If you cannot be an etrog, governed by spiritual law and the power to do good, then be the myrtle. Regardless of your level of spiritual knowledge, open your heart and do good. You can always learn the law. Now we bring all four of these types together to remind us that every one of these people is important and that we must all be united and that we can help each other so that we can ultimately all become etrogs, a whole planet full of little yellow people. Each day of the holiday, we shake the lulav and etrog 3 times in each of 6 directions, immediately after reciting the blessing. Now remember, you can go eastward, southward, westward, northward, then you face east and you go up and you go down. Or you can face east and extend the species southward, northward, eastward, upward, downward, westward. You cast it from you and you draw it back like a fishing rod, bringing into your life and into your heart harmony, kindness, connection, discipline, perseverance, submission, all contributing to your great ability to create communication. Let's all grab our lulav and our etrog, our 4 species, and recite the blessing. Now the daily blessing before waving is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu el netilat lulav. Blessed are you, Lord God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and has commanded us concerning the waving of the lulav. And remember, all of these motions should be done slowly and deliberately, concentrating on the intentions, the kavanot of the act. I love that. It's one of my favorite parts. Now the Torah portion read, it's not a regular parsha. It is a part of one. And it's from Exodus 33:12, and it has fantastic stuff in it. Moses makes the second set of tablets. Now don't forget, God made the first set, the ones that Moses shattered, and he instructs Moses on what to write on the second set. We also get the beginning of that fantastic Maimonides 13 attributes of God. Merciful and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness. God promises his glory and his presence, and that they will go with the people, hence the cloud. And hence the belief in the booth as emblematic of the cloud. And as we sit in it, we sit in the comfort and glory of God. And how often do we really feel the presence, the glory, the comfort of God? Well, this week, every day you can. Think of inviting guests, of sharing with those less fortunate. Think of the good that you have in your life and how you can contribute to making others' lives better. We all want to make people's lives better. Bring in those awesome feelings of life. As Van Morrison saying, when no one steps on my dreams, there'll be days like this. When people understand what I mean, there'll be days like this. When you ring out the changes of how everything is, well, my mama told me, there'll be days like this. And let's take a minute or two to think of those less fortunate and send some healing energy out to them as we do the Mishaberach, the one who blessed, the entreaty to God to bless those that need a healing. Karen and her kids, Abby and Matthew, Phil, who is still recovering from surgery, Wilson, struggling with a very rare and difficult disease. Think or call out those you know in need of healing, in need of energy. Mishaberach, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishberach Imotenu, Makor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And friends, the holiday ends with a very exciting day, Simchat Torah, rejoicing with the instructions or rejoicing with the Torah, when the final verse of the Torah is read, and everyone, man, woman, and child, all get to dance around with the Torah, hence rejoicing with the Torah. And the Torah is then immediately begun again. to show the circular motion of knowledge and of God, that which has no beginning, no middle, and no end. We didn't really end it and begin it again. It is a continuous cycle of learning. Thank you for joining me, friends. We have shared a fantastic year. We have dined together in the sukkah and welcomed each other as guests. We have helped those in need and sent out a lot of love. We have loved each other. We have loved together, prayed together, celebrated together. It does not end. When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide where I stop and I turn it. I go for a ride till I get to the bottom and I see you again. And I will see you next week when we get to the bottom and go back to the top of the slide in the beginning. Shabbat Shalom. Have a fantastic week, my friends. It was fantastic seeing you. What a great year we've had. And we're starting again next week. You take care. Bye.